Hey guys! So today I am going to be filming my multiple sclerosis story. So my biggest difficulty with my MS is the fact that cognitively I struggle. So if I'm all over the place in this video, you guys, please forgive me. If you have questions or anything, write it down below and I will do my very best to answer based on your questions if you have any. This might be a hard video for me to film. I'm not really sure if I'm going to be emotional while filming it or not. But I wanted to film this for you guys so you knew my story, so you knew my journey, so you could follow me on my journey. And yeah, I just wanted you guys to know, kind of what I'm dealing with on a daily basis. So if you are new here, my name is Cori. I am a mom of 4 and I am a newer YouTube mama. I would love your support if you find my content interesting or if you find my story something that you want to follow. Please subscribe and like down below. If you are already one of my subscribers, somebody who is already supporting me, thank you so much. I want you guys to know how important you are to me. I know I don't talk to all of you regularly. Life is busy. I do my very best. But I am so thankful for your guys' support. I am so thankful for your support, for your likes, for your comments, for your views, for your kind words, for the relationships that I'm growing. I'm so thankful. So thank you all so much. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. By the way, I'm sitting down here in my basement with my blankie, my washcloth, my lip gloss, it's in my shirt, sorry, and my coffee. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So in June of 2017, everything will add up, I promise. In June of 2017, I had to have a total hysterectomy. That was 3 years ago, so I was 32. Had already had 4 kids. Anyways, I had to have a total hysterectomy due to several different factors. November that year, so a couple months after my hysterectomy, I felt fabulous. Everything was great. Like I was living my best life. I was getting ready one morning to get all of my kids off to school, and I'm carpool mom, so I was taking two other kids to school. At that time, I had 1 kid in high school, 1 kid in middle school, 2 kids in elementary school. So life was crazy, life was busy. There was never, a slow moment ever in time. So I was getting all of my kids ready for school. 2 of the carpool kids showed up. Everything was going great. Within minutes, everything changed. I was kind of in a bad mood, not really in a bad mood, but I was not my normal self for sure. So I was kind of rushing my older kids to kind of do their own thing, getting my 2 littles ready. Me and Ellie were in my bathroom and I was doing her hair, and let me back up. Okay, so the 2 other carpool kids showed up. I took my 2 older kids to school, the 2 other carpool kids to school, got back home, had a few minutes in between to finish getting my littles ready. So I was in the bathroom getting Miss Ellie's hair done, and she looked at me and she was like, "Mom, your face looks really fluffy, kind of like a cloud. Like, what is going on with your face, Mom?" And I was like, nothing. Let's hurry up and get ready. And she just kept telling me, she was like, "Mom, your face looks fluffy. Things don't look right." So, after about 10 minutes of her telling me I didn't look right, it kind of hurt my feelings. And I was like, holy cow, I'm just trying to get you guys ready for school. I'm just trying to get everybody where they need to be. Relax, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she said it again, and she was really, like, at this point I could see in her face that she was really concerned that something wasn't right. So I went back into the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and you guys, the whole entire left side of my face was drooping, like drooping. I couldn't smile correctly. I couldn't lift my eyebrows correctly. And being a medical professional, I instantly was like, Bell's palsy. You're fine, girl. You just need some steroids. Everything's good. You're fine. Let's get these kids off to school. Let's get ready for work and head on into work. So I get all the kids to school. I'm getting myself ready. And as I'm getting myself ready, I'm kind of like panicking. But deep down, I know, just Bell's palsy. You're just fine. So I continued doing what I needed to do. I reached out to my husband because I was a little bit panicked, you know. Took a picture, texted off to him, and he was like, holy cow, what is going on? Are you joking? Like, quit playing me, basically, is what he was saying. And I wasn't playing. So I took another picture, sent it off to one of my coworkers. We're all medical professionals. She was like, oh, like, maybe Bell's palsy. Come in and we'll have the nurses look at it and see what you need to do. And I was like, it's Bell's palsy. I just need some steroid. I'll reach out to my primary care provider when we get into work. So I drove about 20 minutes to work, got out of my car and met up with one of my other coworkers. And she was like, Cori, I really don't think this is Bell's palsy. Will you just go and see your doctor? And I was like, no, I'm going to finish my day at work. Then I'll, reach out to my doctor. So we got into work. I talked with several of my nurses and they were like, this is really concerning, You probably should go and get that looked at. In fact, my boss at the time was like, you're not finishing your shift. You need to go at least to the urgent care to be checked out. So obviously I fought it because it was just Bell's palsy. So, hold on. Okay, so I decided that I was going to go into the urgent care because once again, I really thought, just give me steroids, I'll be fine. Maybe an antibiotic, I don't really know, but something is going to fix this. So my coworker and I walked down to the urgent care. They didn't want me to go alone, so she, assisted me. We went down to the urgent care, and lo and behold, the urgent care provider just so happened to be my primary care provider that was covering the urgent care provider staff for that day. And he was like, Cori, this doesn't look like Bell's palsy to me. And I was like, absolutely it is. I've been a medical assistant for 12 years. It is. It's Bell's palsy. I just need some steroids. And he was like, okay, so do me a favor. Go down to the emergency room and let's see what they have to say. So I at that time I didn't want to go. Like, I was actually starting to get a little bit irritated and pissed off, if you will. Like, it was actually kind of making me a little bit upset that nobody was listening to me. Nobody was hearing me out. So I went to the emergency room. My coworker called my husband and was like, hey, Cori's here in the emergency room. Her primary care provider really wanted her to be looked at. And he was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, what is going on? You guys are starting to freak me out. So anyways, we got into the emergency room. The doctor who I saw was like, right now, let's get some imaging. You're going to get a CT. And I said, okay, whatever you feel like is necessary. I was really upset because you guys, when you're a mom of four, $150 for an emergency room visit, that's crazy. That's hard. You're thinking about the money. You're thinking about what you could provide for your kids, what you could provide for your family. Anyways, I just had to bite the bullet. I had to go. So, the emergency room doctor, sorry, it's giving me chills. Anyway, so the emergency room doctor was like, you're getting a CT. So I went into the CT machine. They were pushing iodine, and you guys, I couldn't breathe. My body was on fire, and I could not stop sneezing. Like, the worst experience. So I'm like screaming, and I'm trying to get the attention of the imaging tech. And anyway, she pulled me out of the machine. She started pumping Benadryl, called in a whole entire team trying to get me back to normal. Anyways, during that CT, we didn't get much of an image since I was clearly allergic to the iodine. I had had CTs done before with iodine, never phased. This one time I was. So the doctor was like, okay, we're rushing you into an emergency brain MRI. And I was like, okay, whatever we've got to do, you know? So about an hour into being in the emergency room, I had had a failed CT scan, had my MRI done. I was being wheeled back into my exam room, or back into my emergency room. And my doctor came in, and I work with these people, so they all know me. You know, they all know me to some extent. She looked at me and she was like, Cori. And I was holding my coworker's hand. And she said, you have multiple sclerosis. And I was like, what? But you guys, the weirdest thing was one tear dropped. And I'm thinking, like, I'm playing my whole entire life back in my head. And I remember back in elementary school, back in middle school, back in high school, how I always did reports on multiple sclerosis. I found it very fascinating. For some reason, I knew my whole life I had it. I can't tell you guys, I can't even tell you guys, like, I can't make that make sense to anyone. You know, I just knew that I had multiple sclerosis from a very young age. I knew I had it. I didn't know if I would ever be diagnosed. I didn't know if I would ever have symptoms, but I knew that I had multiple sclerosis. Okay, so I looked up at the doctor and I was like, okay, all right. And I cried again. Very little tears. Very little tears. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I had very few tears, but my friend looked at me and I looked at her, she looked at me and I looked at her, and I said, will you please call Brandon, which is my husband. So she called him. He obviously rushed into the hospital. And by the time he had gotten there, my doctor, my primary care provider, actually came down into the emergency room, and he was crying. He was really upset, really saddened. And he just said, look, we're going to get through this. You're strong. We've got this. Everything will be fine. Okay. My husband arrives. My emergency room doctor and staff decide that they want to transfer me up to our big hospital that I work for. I can't go into too much detail because I don't want you guys to know exactly where I'm living. You understand that, being safety for myself and my family. Anyway, so they had told me that I need to go by ambulance and that my husband could not take me. And that there wasn't room on the ambulance for my husband. So they take me up to that hospital. I'm put on the neurological floor. And my husband eventually shows up. At that point, you guys, more of my symptoms started showing face. Clearly I had the dripping on the left side of my face, the whole entire left side of my body, arm, shoulder, legs, numb, completely numb. They did several neurological exams. My neurological deficit was all on my left side. So it was test after test after test after test, imaging after imaging after imaging, blood work after blood work after blood work. So they started me on a dose of steroids, many other things that I don't even remember, you guys, because even till this day, did I tell you guys the date? Anyways, it was November of 2017 when all of this played out. So a lot has happened. My disease has progressed. But anyways, at that time, they started me on high dose steroids, a lot of different medications. Due to the steroids, it made me a diabetic. And due to my symptoms kind of rapidly progressing, I had to stay in the hospital for, it was anywhere from 3 to 5 days. I don't remember exactly at this point. So I'm in the hospital. My husband obviously returns home. I have some friends and some family coming through, a lot of coworkers, a lot of dear friends. But you guys, through that whole entire thing, doctors were like, Cori, you are sharp. You are smart. You're going through something so hard, yet you still have a smile on your face. You're still defying the odds. You know, speech therapy was a little bit distorted because I was having some speech issues, not a lot. I was having some vision issues. Obviously, I was having like some sensory issues. Anyways, about 3 to 5 days into it, I got to go home. Still at that point, my drooping had not gone away. A lot of things happened in between all of this. So let's kind of fast forward a little bit. I can tell you guys that I am currently on a treatment. I do infusions every 6 months, and every 6 months so day 1 I do infusion, 2 weeks later I do another infusion, and then I wait 6 months. And then day 1 I do infusion, wait 2 weeks, and then I do another infusion. Hold on just a second. Okay, so anyways, I do infusions as my treatment. That was the treatment that I had decided because I did not want to give myself injections of another medication every day. So that was the treatment that I chose. Now I have been diagnosed with several different diagnoses on top of my multiple sclerosis since then. I'm not really going to go into detail on those. They're all just, you know, other diagnoses. So the symptoms that I deal with on a daily basis are headaches, fatigue, body aches, numbness, cognitive issues, sometimes vision issues, sometimes speech, talking issues, just articulating my words, processing my words, thinking out loud. I have to do a lot of writing of everything. I write down everything. If I don't write it down, I lose it. I have numbness in my left arm, numbness in my left leg, and chronic pain. Also, I do not sleep unless I take something for sleeping. And even then, it is very rare that I get more than 4 hours of sleep a day. You guys will see that I am very close with my kids, and that's because you guys, this turned my whole entire life upside down. My kids are worried about me on a daily basis. My husband's worried about me on a daily basis. My disease isn't progressing rapidly, but that's because I got on a medication that helps slow the progression of my disease. So that's kind of where we're at right now. If you guys have any questions or anything else down below, go ahead and ask them and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching this video and have a great day. Sorry, I ended that because I got distracted. Anyways, so life has changed. It has brought me closer to all of my kids. It has brought me closer to my husband, my family, my friends. Life is definitely different. Life has changed. It's not what it was 3 years ago. Anything could happen, obviously, to anybody at any time. Anything could happen to me or my kids or my husband at any time. So I try and live my disease with the most positive attitude that I can. You guys, that does not mean that I don't have bad days. It doesn't mean that I don't have exceptionally good days. My bad days are fewer and, you know, farther in between, but I do have them, and they're really, really, really bad days. I struggle a lot, but I keep moving forward because this is the journey that God has put me on, and this is the journey that I need to move forward with. There are so many people who live on a daily basis with this disease who live completely normal lives. And then there are people with this disease who don't live normal lives. So as long as I can live a normal life, I'm going to continue to do my very best. You know, it just is. It's my journey. It's what God has given me. I'm not angry about it. There are a lot of things about the disease that do anger me, but I'm not angry that I have this disease. And I would love to build relationships with more people who have this disease, to connect, to unite, to grow, and to love on each other. So with all of that being said, I do want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said in the beginning, if you have questions, ask them down below. If you can relate, let me know. If you have family or friends who have this disease and their journey is different, or if they have this disease and their journey is the same, have them reach out to me. I would love to get to know more people who are on this journey with me. And I would love to help people who are newly on their journey. It's definitely hard. But you guys, everybody has a journey. Everybody has a story. We should be proud at where we're at in our journeys and our stories. And we should just live in it, live the best that we can in the journey and the cards that we're dealt. Anyways, I'm not going to continue on with this video. I just want you guys to know I'm so thankful for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. I hope that you have a fabulous day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching.